Warriorenes and Warriorenes, what is happening? How have y'all been? What is going on? What does it do? I'm gonna take this video in a different direction today. I want to cover some things, being that it is the year 2020, and if you're watching this sometime in the future, 2020 was a terrible year. So I want to cover something with you guys real quickly, and I hope you would give me the opportunity to explain some thoughts to you and why I think it's important, regardless of what your opinion is, as to why you should go out and vote. I know, trust me, I don't like talking about politics. I don't like dealing with politics. Politics is a very, very, very hot topic issue next to religion and other certain things. All right, but let me explain to you why it's important for you to go out there and go cast your vote, and why it's important to understand why people don't want you to vote. All right, so real quick, this is why it's important for you to vote. Plain and simple, if you don't vote, guess what? You have no room to complain. Now, don't get offended, don't get upset. Hold on and pause for a moment. I hear you, all right? But Warriorene, the choices that are given to me are just like a douche and a turd. I mean, I'm still choosing between, two evils, right? So what's the difference? I might as well not vote. I hear you. Trust me, I completely understand. But here's the thing. You don't have to just vote for, the two evils, okay? You just don't have to. You have more than two choices. The problem is that you haven't really figured out yet who those other choices are. How are you supposed to figure out what other choices you have if you don't even bother to look outside of what is put in front of you? Sometimes you have to take the blinders out and go do some investigation, all right? Okay, Warriorene, so what investigations am I supposed to be doing here? Like, where do I actually start? Well, that's actually a very simple question to answer. It really does come down to, what do you want in your life? How do you want the world to be and benefit you, right? Once you figure those things out, what makes you happy, what would make you and your family happy as well, and provide you a good life. Once you figure out what those things are, then what you have to do is find out who is more aligned with your views and your beliefs, okay? That's one of the first things you should look at. You should always do your very best to vote based on your convictions, all right? Don't vote based on fear. The problem with voting based on fear is that you will always be voting because you're afraid of the other person. I want to vote for this person because I don't like the other person. So then really you're not so much as voting for someone as much as you are voting against someone. Does that make sense? I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it makes complete sense, okay? If you're presented with two options and both options are in certain respects similar in the thoughts that they stand by and the beliefs that they represent, all right? And not only that, but also if they've been in a position of power for X amount of years, okay? Then how has that person voted, okay? These things are very important. All right, Warriorene, but I just don't see voting as being that important. Oh, sweet Warriorenes and Warriorenes. If voting, let me just ask you it like this. If voting was not important and not that big of a deal, then pray tell why there are forces that work very hard to prevent you from voting. You want me to ask that again? Didn't think so. You see, if voting wasn't important, like you think it's not because I'm just one vote, you may say, then why would there be so much money year after year, so many voices year after year fighting to prevent you from voting, to make it harder for you to vote. Why do they put the dates of voting during the middle of a week, okay? When you know you're at work, are you gonna call off of work to go vote? I sure as heck do. But see, a lot of people don't have that opportunity to do that. They don't have the means to do that. Some people are working 2 jobs, 3 jobs. People have families. People have to work, right? So that's the society we live in. So just think about that. To you, you think your vote doesn't matter, okay? But obviously, to the powers that be, the ones that are in control, the ones that pass policies and legislation to keep you from voting and make it harder for you to vote, they know damn good and well how important it is for you to not vote, because it's important that you vote. Okay, Warriorene, so who should I vote for then? You tell me who I'm supposed to vote for. Warriorenes, Warriorenas, that choice is entirely up to you. No one, anywhere, at any time, regardless of who they are, friends, family, dogs, cats, fish in a bowl, it does not matter. No one should ever force you to vote for somebody you don't want. No one should ever peer pressure you to vote for somebody you don't want. That decision ultimately rests on your shoulders. It is your responsibility as a citizen of this world, of your country, or wherever you come from, to do your due diligence, educate yourself. Don't just go based on name recognition, okay? Don't. That's just the silliest thing you can do. Just because your parents were repping a specific political party their whole life, or it's been in your generations, in your whole bloodline, that does not mean that you have to be a part of the herd, okay? Because sometimes when you roll with the crowd doesn't always know what's best for everybody else around them, okay? They're just voting based on name recognition, which is kind of silly if you think about it. Like, it does help to have name recognition, but isn't it more important to focus on policies? What kind of legislations should be put in place? You know, so these are things that you should really start looking into. The fact that you're listening to this and got this far in this video, it shows that you are in some way, shape, or form interested in doing your due diligence as a citizen and playing your part to better not just yourself or your family, but all of us as a whole. So the next time you say, I'm not gonna vote, or you know, it's just 2 choices, I don't know, they're both whack, I'm not voting at all. Sometimes you just have to just go out and vote for somebody else. You don't have to vote for those 2 people. Vote for someone else. There are multiple parties. There are multiple opinions out there. There are over 7 billion human beings on this planet, and hundreds of millions more in whichever country, if you're living in the US like we are, of choices, okay? Granted, there's only, it comes down to like 4 choices towards the, the election year, but at the end of the day, you don't have to vote for just the 2 main political parties. You just don't, all right? I'm not a Nike fan. I prefer to wear Skechers. I had to think for a second. Like, I wear Skechers, you know? I wear New Balances. I don't care about Nike. I really don't. Nothing against Nikes, but I just prefer what I prefer, okay? Most of you probably never even heard of New Balances, and that's okay. But see, at the same time, because you never heard of that brand, how would you know if you would like this brand? For all you know, it could be like, oh wow, I never even heard of this brand, but I love how it feels on my feet. I love how it just raises my arch, because I have bad arches in my feet, and it's really comfortable. Oh, and it's made here in my country, which is also awesome. So I'm supporting a good cause. I just learned about something, and now I'm going to spread the word of New Balances. Now, mind you, I'm not sponsored by New Balances. I was just giving a rough example. So, Warriorenes, Warriorenas, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you take heed to what I'm saying. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget, I'll see y'all next time. Dos.